Welcome back from the break. Thank you so much for staying tuned in to the show. We know we're talking about osteoporosis, but a very important aspect of osteoporosis is in women, post-menopausal women in particular, which is why we have our favorite gynecologist, Dr. Nigar Shah, in the studio with us today. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Kaisi hain Dr. Nigar?
I'm good. Aap kaise hain?
Allah ka shukr. Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to us.
It's absolutely a pleasure.
Dr. Nigar, menopause and osteoporosis. Can you tell us about how it's related?
Well, let me tell a little bit about menopause first, because menopause per se occurs between 45 to 55 years of age, and it's not a disease, it's not an illness, it's just a phase of life. The more positively you look at it, the lesser symptoms you will have. And if women go into it with a healthy frame of mind, with a healthy state of mind, they will be more healthy. Like the slogan that we are taking along now is healthy after 40. Actually, previously what it was, Sonia, that women were having very low life expectancy. Like at independence, the average lifespan of women's life was, say, 37, 40, and therefore, and most of them were dying in reproductive age and childbirth and all that. So therefore, little was known about this phase of menopause. But now we spend more than, let's say, 1/3 of our life in menopause, and that part of life has to be as vital. It's just the end of, say, reproductive life, but it's a whole new life there. I mean, women should not think, now it's menopause, my life is finished, just preparing for Hajj, or, you know, getting sidelined or whatever.
Very sort of depressed, retired
No, not
life.
at all, not at all. It's very vital. The only thing is when hormones decrease a little bit, that's what is happening. That since you are not making a ova, the main hormones in you, that is the estrogen and progesterone, are now down. So you take certain time to adjust to that, but you adjust very well and then you carry on. Without them also, it's not that, I mean, of course, some things are missing there, but most of your life and most of everything else is very much there. Your vitality is there, everything is there. Aging problems are occurring in men and women equally, but hormone deficiency problems are a little bit more in women. And they adjust to this phase. Like, for example, many women, I did a little research on menopause for our Asia Pacific conference. And what I found was that in lower socioeconomic class, or as we say, ignorance is bliss, women who did not know a lot about it were very happy with this phase, and they did not think that anything has gone, you know, bad or whatever. But women who were more aware were the one panicking that my life will be finished, my sexuality will be finished, my femininity will be finished, so on and so forth. So they were the ones that we were counseling more, giving pamphlets, educating, that's just a little bit decrease in your hormones. You see what happens in postnatal phase as well. Just after delivery, the hormones that were 150 times the normal get low, and you are depressed and all that. So this is what is happening here. And you take time, and what that period we call is climacteric phase, adjustment phase. This is around 2 to 3 years before actual menopause starts. Menopause is when your cycle cessates, finishes. So just before that time, you take 2 to 3 years. And the commonest problem that women come to us is, of course, cyclical irregularity. And we give them hormones, and they are very good with it. But now the debate is going on after a few studies and research whether hormones
is good.
In long term are good or not. They are your friends to a certain extent, but you should be knowing that to what tissues they are more friendly as compared to others. Like previously, it was believed that coronary heart disease would be less with HRT. Now it has proven that's not so. Previously, it was believed that cancers would be less. Now it's proven it's not so. But the thing is, if you are aware and if you are getting screened and all that every other year, like they do in the West, then as such, healthy women will have more quality in their life and more quantity as well.
Absolutely, I can imagine. And in a lot of cultures, we've talked about this on other shows as well, it is celebrated actually. Because especially over here as well, you know, it means sometimes a lack of segregation for women. they, you know, then feel they can sit amongst the men, they're older,
more
then
empowered.
they're praying, there's not a problem.
Exactly.
So they feel more
are good
empowered.
points as well. They are good points. They can then make decisions. They feel that the difference between men and women is now finished. So they can relate more. So of course, yes, there are those also. But again, women should feel that, like in men, older men are looked at as, you know, I mean, they are not ashamed of their age or whatever. So I think women similarly should not be like that. The women who come to us do feel that if they have a, let's say, premature menopause before the age, then they will have more symptoms, then they need more help. Let's put menopause in 3 phases.
Okay.
The early phase is the first 10 years after your 50s, say 50s to 60s. In that phase, what you will be feeling more, in addition to the cycle irregularity or stopping of it most of the time, you will feel a little bit depressed and changes relating to body temperature. The metabolism decreases, hot flashes, sweating, irritability, lack of concentration, and mood swings, etc. So that is the early phase, and it responds very well to hormones. And you have to weigh the risks and benefits. For example, if you are a principal, and this is a real patient, of a certain school, and you have so many number of thousands of students under you, you cannot afford to stay at home. And when your lifestyle impairs, and that's when I'm always talking about, when your routine is impaired, that means medical treatment has to come in.
Has to step in, absolutely.
Yeah. In addition to lifestyle alteration, calcium, vitamin D, exercise, whatever, then hormones have a role. So these women, educated women, more conscious, will take hormones and regularly be screened. So that is the first 10 years. The second 10 years will be more related to your skin's texture, your hair, and that's natural aging as well. The dryness of tissues, the difficulty in relationships, etc. Again, here, if you think that you cannot deal with it, then of course we are always there. And then the third and the last phase is that of osteoporosis. But osteoporosis has set in just after, let's say, in 35s or so. And you start giving milk and calcium, etc., to adolescents. I mean, a 20-year-old will never think that my bones are getting weak, but they will if you don't take care.
Which was my point, because it's not just when you hit menopause that you are open to osteoporosis.
It's not a hit and go case.
Entire lifestyle.
It's occurring throughout. So at that phase, they need to have take care more in terms of, say, exercise and calcium and vitamin D. But once this has set in, for example, osteoporosis is what? It's weakness, brittle bones. I think you have already covered that. So what now we are talking about is the destruction will go on. I mean, it's a bone is an active tissue.
The deterioration, yes.
Yeah. But in addition to that, is there any cell making there as well? I mean, the bone resorption and bone remaking should go hand in hand, and that is occurring throughout the life. But in menopause, the degeneration is little bit more and the making is less, and it gets lesser by the day. And as compared to men of similar age, women are, say, 25 to 30% more prone to that degeneration because of the lack of that hormonal support.
And childbirth, and I think the bodies go through a lot more.
So they have gone through a lot of wear and tear, and their bones have sustained more than they were prepared or, you know, made to sustain.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Nighat. We have to take a short commercial break. With that, please don't go too far. Just a short break. Join us again very soon.